In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 3 things about parenting teenagers that everyone thinks are true. Not only are you going to learn why believing them is damaging to you and your child, but you'll also learn what you could be and should be believing instead. Plus, if you watch to the end, I've got a bonus tip about how you can know if your speech and actions are helpful or hurtful to the relationship you have with your child. Now let's get into it. I'm Jason Curtis, husband and father of 4. This channel is all about strengthening families by helping parents do and be better. Welcome to Principal Parenting. As parents, we believe it's really easy for our kids to just listen and do. And so when that doesn't happen, we get a little frustrated. We get upset because things aren't happening how we want it to happen. So we get on their case, and then maybe we argue a little bit, and then maybe we hand out a consequence. Well, ultimately, we are blaming our kids for something that we want to have happen. You see, we have locked in our mind exactly how we think things should go, how we think it should happen. And so we blame our children. But what if what we were thinking and what we were believing was untrue? What if what we were believing was causing us to act in a certain way such that maybe we were causing the problem and we were the issue in this relationship? Well, that's what we're going to go over. So what are the things that we believe that are untrue? Here's lie number 1. My teenager is the problem. And again, things don't go exactly how we want it to. We ask them to do, and maybe they don't do, or maybe they do it wrong or not up to our standards. And so we want to blame our child. Well, here's the thing. When they were younger, toddlers, elementary school age, we taught them and they learned. They were like a sponge soaking it up. And for the most part, they did what we asked them. They were happy, we were happy, and things worked. Well, now that they're getting a little bit older, they kind of want to function on their own. They want to execute and make decisions on their own. And we should let them. It was kind of like the practice round for a sporting event. We had practices when they were young. We taught them, they learned, they messed up, we learned again, we practiced, things of that nature. Well, now it's game time. And they're in the game and they want to do. The problem is we're like the parent on the sideline that just won't shut up. We're giving them instructions on every little thing. Dribble the ball, pass the ball, shoot the ball, or whatever might be the case. And so we're not letting them do. We're still trying to coach them and teach them for every little thing. And it's kind of frustrating for them. They don't like it. They think that we are on their case constantly about little things, such to the point to where maybe they don't want to act. Well, here's what we can be believing and doing instead. Give them a little bit more autonomy and freedom to execute their decisions or do the things that they want to do in the way that they want to do it. And that might not look exactly how we want it to look. Maybe they dress a little different than we think they should, or they wear their hair different, or maybe their level of a clean room is different than our level of a clean room. But give them a little bit more autonomy and praise the effort they're giving. Show them that you have support for what they're doing and that they're actually trying. And then we can kind of work with it in time to maybe get it to a different standard, or if it's unsafe, or things of that nature. But we certainly don't want them to be unsafe, but we can kind of work with them within this boundaries of letting them learn and grow. And also think about when you have a coworker or a spouse or a friend, do you always like them on your case about what you are or aren't doing, or how you should do something, such to the where you don't feel you can even do anything without them interjecting their opinion input? Well, that's kind of how our children are thinking right now. And that's what we want to get away from. We want them to know that we support them in how they do it, and we're okay with how they make their decisions. Lie number 2, I have to do everything for my child. So what's happening now is you feel like you have to make the schedule for your kids. You have to schedule things for them. Maybe their chores, you have to go in and do it for them, or they don't do it up to your standards, so you got to go redo it because they can't do it, or they're never picking up, and things of that nature. Well, my question is, I'm going to ask you, why? Why do you feel you have to do that? Why do you feel you have to go in and redo their chore, or do it different, or do it better because they can do it? Why do you feel you have to do their chores or clean up after them? Why do you feel you have to schedule everything for them? Do you feel that maybe it won't get done, or it won't be your version of successful, or it's not perfect up to your standards? Or maybe you feel like you're just helping them. Or maybe you're afraid of what others might think of you as a parent because you have failed, or how your child did or didn't turn out. Well, here's the thing that we're doing with all this, is we're teaching our child not to act. We're teaching them that we're always going to either clean up after them, schedule for them, or that they don't have responsibilities in certain things because we're maybe forcing them to do it. And that's not a good thing. We're also teaching them that we don't trust them to make their own decisions or to act on their own or to have their own opinions. And that's also not what we want to do. So here's what we can be believing and should be doing instead. Let them fail. Let them have some disappointment. Let them be late. Maybe they're late for a job and they ultimately get fired. That would be sad. Maybe they don't quite get a good grade and they have to retake it in summer school or online. Well, that would be sad. But here's the thing. It's much better that they do this now than in the real world when we haven't taught them. Much better that they get fired from their job now because they were late than if they have a family they have to support and then get fired because they haven't learned it. So it's better they can learn it under these controlled circumstances in this controlled area than when they are older. And that's what we want to teach them. We want to help them learn and grow in this controlled environment. But we also need to love them and support them. We can't be like, see, I told you so, because that's not love and support. Oh, man, that is sad that happened. But let me help you work through it. Show them love and support for the effort they gave and help them identify areas where they can improve. Lie number 3, my child doesn't want to do anything. Well, here's the lie in this, is that you believe they don't want to do anything. They might not be doing things, but they are also doing a lot of things that they want to do. They find time to post on social media, play video games, hang with friends, things of that nature. But these wants aren't necessarily maybe what you want them to do. Well, the thing is, they don't right now have a compelling reason to do some of the things that you want them to do. For instance, maybe you are constantly asking them to get out of their room or go outside or do a chore, and they're not doing this chore, and so you're always giving them consequences. Well, the consequence isn't a compelling reason. You've been on their case so much that they're kind of feeling like what should I do? Okay? Well, we need to do better with them. Okay? We need to love and support them. We need to sit down and talk with them, observe them, find out what it is that they want to do. We need to find that compelling reason. What excites them? Some of their likes and opinions might not be our likes and opinions, but because we aren't letting them do those likes and opinions, they don't want to do some of the other things like chores or that we ask them to do. But as we sit down and find out what it is they want to do, and we help and support them in that, they're going to get excited in other areas. So what this is going to look like is maybe they're into video games and we're not really into video games so much. It's okay for a child to be into video games because that spurs creativity and it spurs a lot of other things. But what if we take an interest in the video games they're playing? Maybe we learn about them. Maybe we sit and watch them and just kind of find out. Things like that show them we're excited in what they like and what they're doing. And as we do this, they're going to get excited in other areas and they're going to be more inclined to do some of these chores as we show love and support for them and to do some of these little things we ask them to do. But they're also going to now start taking action and doing other things. Maybe they get out more, maybe they hang with friends more, but in any case, they're going to be happier because of the love and support we've shown for the things that they want to do. So the big takeaway from these 3 lies and what we can learn is the fact that we believe that we can and should be controlling every aspect of their life. And I realize we're parents and we're responsible for them. We need to teach them, but we don't have to control every aspect of their life. In fact, we shouldn't be controlling every aspect of their life. They are becoming teenagers and they need to have a little bit more autonomy and judgment and agency to do these things. Well, because we feel like we have to control their lives, if things don't happen how they want, we want to blame them. We need to get in and fix that. Well, here's the thing. The blaming focuses on negativity, which is bad. It focuses on the contention. It brings contention and it brings frustration, and that's bad. The blame releases us from responsibility, and it puts the focus, the negativity on the child. It teaches them that they aren't good enough, and that's not the message we want to send to them. But also blame, it degrades love and it creates animosity in this relationship. So it further drives a wedge. Well, here's what we can be believing and should be doing instead now that we know these lies. We need to let our child have a little bit more freedom in this. We need to acknowledge our part in this, that maybe we have been some of the problem in this. We need to change. We need to grow. How can we show more love and support than we're showing? Stop being on their case as much, but show them love and support for the effort they are giving. Let them know that we trust them to make some of these decisions, and we know that they won't always turn out how you want, but that's okay. We're going to love them no matter what they do. And if they know that, they're going to be happier, you're going to be happier, and you're going to have a stronger bond. Now, this needs to be within reason, as long as it's not illegal, unethical, maybe immoral, and unsafe, things of that nature. So there are, some guiding boundaries there, but there's a lot of latitude within that we can let them function and do. As a parent, I know you're trying and doing the best you can with the knowledge that you have right now and that you want to get better. And that's why I created a free parent scorecard that you can download. And it's going to help identify areas where you're doing great and maybe some areas where you can improve, but it's definitely going to help you get to where you want to be going in this and knowing how to get there. Now, if you found value in this video, like, subscribe, and share it with others who you feel might benefit from this. For those of you that stuck around to the end, I've got a bonus tip for you. How you can know if your speech and actions are helpful or hurtful to the relationship that you have with your child. So the question I have is the message you think you're sending the message your child is receiving? Now, the things you're saying and doing in the heat of the moment, or maybe when you're joking around, is that the message they're receiving, the one you think you're sending? Can you guarantee with 100% certainty they got the message you thought they should? So when you leave a situation, if you're feeling anger or animosity, or you feel they seem a little discouraged, maybe that wasn't the message they got. It probably wasn't if there's not a lot of love when you separate from the situation. So if they're not getting the message you think they're getting, I would encourage you to think about the message you're sending. What are you saying? What are you doing? And learn from that, and maybe do different, or don't do some of those things next time. That's how we learn and grow. Now, leave us the comments of what you think about this video down below. How is some of these things working for you? What are you trying? What are some suggestions you want to see in future videos? How can we help you out? And as always, happy parenting and have a great day.